So Shay, what do you think about the education system in India?
I have no opinion about the education system.
Your views on the education system in India? The Indian education system.
Education system.
The education system in India, first of all, it needs a revamp.
Indian education system, it's high time that it evolves.
Kind of not doing more practical work. We are basically towards more theoretical.
So Aditya, how do you think you can contribute to India's education system?
Our responsibility is to go out in the corporate world, and from there we can enter into partnerships with such institutions so as to make sure that this thing gets corrected.
I am Kurikod, it's specific.
It has a lot of courses as well as the ideology of IIM is pretty socially oriented, I believe.
Will you be willing to quit your high-paying IIM job and take up a rural education job?
According to me, what I think is that I would like to continue with my high-paying IIM job.
So you heard what the students have to say. Let me introduce you one very special person who's gone one step ahead in this regard. So we have with us Mr. Pradeep Hota, who's currently an FPM student at IIM Kozhikode. Hello sir. So Hota sir, what do you think about the Indian education system, especially the primary education system in India?
See, I think Indian education system is now going through a very bad phase. It was, in fact, from the independence, if you see, it is in a very bad shape because there are many primary schools which are in villages and all, and they don't have a sufficient number of teachers. Like the school which I studied, it was till 5th class, but we had only 2 teachers to manage that. And the other problem, biggest problem is the infrastructure. So we had only 2 rooms and 1 single veranda to cater to 5 sections. So this kind of problems are, I think, they are almost everywhere in India except some of the big cities. If you go to villages, the problem is there. So it is in very bad shape, I believe.
Being a graduate of a prestigious institute like an IIM, how do you think you can contribute towards this particular initiative?
I think each and every individual can make some kind of contribution from their side. So at that time I realized that why not do something. So then I spoke to one of my friend, and at the beginning we were wondering what we can do because we are in the starting phase of our career. We had no savings and all. So then somehow we thought, okay, we will do something at least. Then I took 1.5 months of leave and I went to my village.
So could you tell us more about this initiative that you took up at your village?
So what we thought is that opening up a school was the only option which was left because the government school over there, they were not at all teaching properly, and even if there were teachers were coming sometime, and it was completely of a Oriya medium school, so there was no focus on English and to school. But fortunately some of them agreed and we could start with 17 students. After that, the other problem was the infrastructure and all. We didn't have sufficient infrastructure, so we tried to build one by one. And then the biggest problem was getting students, because those students, they are from a very lower class students, like their economic background is very low. So actually their parents don't want them to send to school, rather they want them to work as a child labor and all. So it was a very difficult time for us to convince them to send to.
So how is your school doing today? I mean, what is the impact it has created to the village that you come from?
The school is doing fine now. We have over 200 students, and we have taken 10 acres of land to build our own building. And about the impact, see, actually those students, 200 odd students, they came to a school and they are into education system just because this school was created, because their parents were not at all agreeing to send them to school. So I think impact in a very smaller way, at least we are able to, I believe we are able to provide a set of unprivileged student a little bit of education.
Thank you, Hota sir. It's been a pleasure. Thank you once again. All the best with your